Yo, what's going on everyone? In today's video, I will be showing you the top 5 best heists to make yourself millions of dollars very fast in GTA 5 Online. So getting straight into it, coming in spot number 5, we have the CLUCKIN Bell Farm Raid Heist, which is actually the only heist on this list that doesn't need anything to start it. That's right, this heist is literally as simple as going over to the V icon on the map and then going on top of the yellow circle to then click right D-pad, and from here you'll see you need to complete all 5 of these simple setups. And after you complete all of those, you will be able to launch the finale, which when it comes to doing the finale, there is 2 different ways to complete it, either sneaky or aggressive, and it's completely up to you which way you choose. But just keep in mind, those 2 different ways to do the finale is only going to be determined by the way that you did that very last setup mission, which is called the disorganized crime setup, so definitely keep that in mind. But I do have video guides on both of these different approaches that I will leave linked down below in the description of this video, but my personal favorite way to do this heist is definitely the aggressive approach, since it is just way faster and involves more action. Like I said though, it's completely up to you which way you choose to do the finale, but once you finish the entire heist, here's how much money you'll get paid by the very end. As you could see, $500,000. Which is pretty good, especially for a heist that literally anybody could start whenever they want to, but the only downside is you will have to wait 1 hour before starting this heist over again. But coming in spot number 4, we have the Dr. Dre contract, which is the heist located over inside the agency, so you will need to own that property in order to start this. And luckily, the cheapest agency you can purchase is just over $2 million, and you'll make that money back after you complete this heist only 2 times. Once you do decide to start the Dr. Dre contract heist for yourself, it is literally as simple as entering inside the agency, going over upstairs to where your computer is at, and logging in. Once logged into the computer, here you'll see all of the 9 total setups that we need to complete. And I know that does sound like a lot of setups, and honestly it is, so finishing them will take around 45 minutes to 1 hour. Luckily, there are lots of shortcuts to learn throughout these setups that will make the time go even faster. But in order for you to know those exact secrets and the tips and tricks to do during this entire Dr. Dre contract, make sure you check out my Dr. Dre contract video guide that I will leave linked down below in the description of this video once again. Luckily though, the actual finale is the easiest part of the entire heist, funny enough, because of how easy it is and also of how fast it is. Especially with my secret trick and my secret route that I actually do during the finale, you'll be finishing this entire heist, or at least the finale, in under 10 minutes guaranteed. Then, once you do complete the entire Dr. Dre contract and you finally see him go off into the distance in his helicopter over to a yacht, you'll then get paid a fat $1 million paycheck at the very end. Which is pretty good money to earn every time you complete this contract, but if you want to start this contract over again, you will have to wait 1 hour. Getting into spot number 3 though, I have to give it to the Oscar GUZMAN Flies Again heist, which is the one that you start over inside the Mackenzie Field hangar. Which this property is part of the reason why I really love this heist, because to purchase it, it is so easy and also cheap. It is only $1.4 million to purchase this property, which is not terribly expensive. And pretty similar to the agency where it takes you 2 Dr. Dre contracts to make the money back on the property, this heist also only takes 2 times to make the money back on the Mackenzie Field hangar property as well. Which, if you ask me, is a great investment, but aside from that, the actual heist itself is very easy and fast to complete, very similar to the CLUCKIN Bell Farm Raid heist with only 5 setups. And also the time that it takes to complete all the setups plus the finale at the very end is also around the same time that it takes to complete the CLUCKIN Bell Farm Raid. It takes me literally around 50 minutes to complete this entire heist every time I run it. It is very important to remember to make sure you complete all of those setups and also the finale on hard mode, because by the very end you'll get paid $750,000 instead of only $550,000. That's right, because if you weren't to do the entire heist including the setups on hard, you'll only get paid $550,000, but that's okay because it's still not that bad money. But on the other hand, that $750,000 is just way better to earn simply by putting the difficulty set to hard for the entire heist. And of course, just like every other heist on this list, if you want to do it over again, you will have to wait that 1 hour cooldown timer. And now, coming in spot number 2, we have one of the fan favorites in GTA 5 Online, which is the Diamond Casino heist. And in my opinion, this heist is definitely the best, especially when it comes to doing it with a few friends to help them earn some extra money. Starting this heist is as simple as owning an arcade, then going downstairs to where the heist planning board is located at and clicking right D-pad to start the heist. From here, the first thing you need to do is go scope out the casino to see what your primary target is, because it does randomly change every time you launch this heist. Anyway, after you did that, you will then have to do a bunch of preps and also setups, which there will be a total of around 7 typically, which aren't hard at all, so don't worry. Usually all of the setups take me around 45 minutes to complete, and after you complete all of those setups, you'll then have the finale. Which this finale is hands down one of my favorites in the game, just because of all of the different approaches you could choose to do for this heist, but my personal favorite way to do it is definitely the silent and sneaky approach. But there is a total of 3 different types of approaches you could choose to do this heist, which is honestly super cool. And after you do fully complete the entire heist, you will be earning around $1.2 million each time, which is very good. But just keep in mind, if you want to start the heist over again, you will have to wait 1 hour. But finally, drumroll please, coming in spot number 1 for the best heist in GTA 5 Online, we have none other than the CAYO PERICO heist, which has to be one of the most played in the entire game because of how easy it is, and also of how easy it is to do as a solo player. Because as you all know, especially in 2025 in GTA 5 Online, lots of players love doing stuff solo, so that is why this heist is one of the most popular. Starting up this heist each time will cost $100,000 though, which makes it one of the most expensive to start up as far as setup costs are concerned, but honestly that is not too expensive considering how much money you will make at the very end. Once you did pay that $100,000 for the setup cost, you'll then have to complete 6 simple setups that are very easy. Matter of fact, probably the easiest setups out of all of the heists that I showed you in this video. Because I'd say on average, it takes me around 30 minutes to complete literally all 6 of these setups, which is very easy. And in my CAYO PERICO guide video, I also show you how to complete all of these setups the fastest way possible, just like I do. Another really cool part about CAYO PERICO is that there's literally so many different ways you could choose to decide to rob the island during the finale, but my favorite way is definitely through the drainage tunnel, since entering is just way easier and you won't get detected. The one thing about this heist though is that when it comes to the primary target, it will always be random, so sometimes you will have a high value target and sometimes you will have a low value target. But taking that into consideration, I'd say on average, you will be earning around $1 to $1.4 million each time you complete this heist, which is actually pretty good considering that you are doing this as a solo player. And it's also very good because out of all of the heists that I showed you in this video, this heist takes me the least amount of time to complete. Anyway though, that's now going to wrap things up for today's video. You now know my top 5 best heists to do in GTA 5 Online to make yourself millions of dollars, especially as a solo player in 2025. If you did go on to enjoy my video and you still haven't already, please do me a favor by going down below and dropping a like on the video before you click off. That way I can continue to make more videos just like this one. And of course, if you aren't, make sure you definitely hit that subscribe button. That way you don't miss out on any future GTA 5 Online videos that I upload in the future. And until next time, I will see you all in my very next video. Peace.